Have you ever noticed that when you read the Qur'an, it rarely mentions women by their personal names? In fact, out of all the incredible women whose stories fill its pages, only one is ever named. Why is that? Is it an oversight? A cultural quirk? Or is there something much deeper going on? This isn't an omission. It's a profound and beautiful lesson in what it truly means to be honored, to live with purpose, and to be a source of guidance for all time. The Qur'an isn't a history book, nor is it a collection of biographies. Its primary purpose is to be a guide for all of humanity, a source of light and wisdom. Every word, every story, and every name mentioned is there for a specific reason, serving the overall message. Names aren't included simply for the sake of storytelling or to satisfy our curiosity about who was who. They are mentioned only when they are essential to understanding the divine guidance being conveyed. So when we see a name, we should ask why. And when we don't, we should also ask why. The one woman who is mentioned by name in the Qur'an is Maryam, or Mary, peace be upon her. Her name appears dozens of times, and she is so honored that an entire chapter, the 19th chapter, is named after her, Surah Maryam. The Qur'an celebrates her as a symbol of piety, unwavering faith, incredible patience, and complete devotion to God. Her story is not told to highlight her family lineage, her social status, or her connections. Instead, she is honored purely for her own spiritual standing and her unique role in divine history. She stands alone, chosen, and purified, an example for all believers. So if Maryam is named, why aren't the others? Think about the powerful women whose stories we know. The wife of Pharaoh, the mother of Musa, the wife of Zechariah, the wife of Imran, the queen of Sheba. Classical Islamic scholars have explained this beautifully. The Qur'an refers to these women by their roles or their relationships. We have the wife of Pharaoh, the mother of Musa, the wife of Nuh, or the wife of Lut. This isn't meant to diminish them. It's meant to shift our focus. By not using their personal names, the Qur'an directs our attention away from their individual identity and squarely onto their character, their actions, their choices, and the moral lessons embodied in their lives. The lesson isn't about a specific person in history. It's about the role they played and the example they set. In classical Arab culture, not mentioning a woman's name in public was often a sign of immense respect and a way of protecting her dignity and honor. It was a gesture of chivalry. The Qur'an taps into this cultural understanding but elevates it to a spiritual plane. The great scholar Ibn Ashur explained that the Qur'an honors these women not by making their names public, but by highlighting their timeless moral choices and their spiritual strength. Their worth isn't tied to public recognition or fame. It's tied to their piety, their courage, and their submission to God. Their honor comes from their actions, not their identity. It's a powerful statement that true nobility lies in one's character, not in a name. This approach makes the message of the Qur'an incredibly universal and timeless. When the Qur'an speaks of the wife of Pharaoh, she ceases to be just one historical figure. She becomes an archetype, a symbol for every believer, man or woman, who holds onto their faith while living under tyranny and oppression. Her story gives strength to anyone facing persecution for their beliefs. When the Qur'an tells us about the mother of Musa, she represents every mother who places her trust in God's plan, even in the face of unimaginable fear and uncertainty. Her story becomes a source of comfort and hope for parents everywhere. By removing the specific name, the lesson transcends time, culture, and geography. These women become universal role models, their stories echoing in our own lives, their struggles and triumphs resonating with our own. So this brings us back to the question, why is Maryam named? Her case is unique. Maryam's name is mentioned explicitly to defend her honor against slander and false accusations. Her miraculous story, the virgin birth of Jesus, peace be upon him, was so extraordinary that it needed to be anchored in absolute clarity. By naming her, Allah himself clears her name and establishes the truth of her story for all time. Her name becomes a direct refutation of any falsehood. The Qur'an says, and mentioned in the book Maryam, when she withdrew from her family to a place facing east. Her name is a sign, a standard of truth and purity. Allah tells her directly in the Qur'an, O Maryam, indeed Allah has chosen you and purified you and chosen you above the women of the worlds. Naming her was an act of divine honor, a declaration of her innocence and her elevated status. This beautiful and subtle approach from the Qur'an holds a powerful message for us today, especially in an age obsessed with fame, recognition, and public identity. We are constantly told that our worth is measured by how many people know our name, how many followers we have, or how visible we are. The Qur'an teaches us a different lesson. It tells us that true worth isn't found in being seen or named. It's found in the sincerity of our faith, the goodness of our actions, and the purity of our intentions. It's about our relationship with our Creator, which is often cultivated in private, away from the public eye. Your value is not in your brand, but in your character. So the next time you read the Qur'an and you come across the story of a remarkable woman, remember this. The Qur'an doesn't erase women, it elevates them. It honors them by focusing on what truly matters: their faith, their courage, their sacrifice, and their unwavering trust in God. It turns their personal stories into universal lessons, their individual lives into beacons of light for all of humanity. Reflect on this wisdom, and you will continue to discover the incredible depth and beauty of the Qur'an. Thank you for watching.